Bob, we were talking about this earlier, the three of us, getting that new count on Monday will be important because we aren't sure how the winds affected it and how the hurricane affected it when they did take that count.
Yeah, you're right. We are looking at better conditions out there. I was out there during that storm yesterday, and that foam was around. It was irritating at some point. I did think that there was some hint of red tide there. But today on area beaches, haven't had any reports of any red tide. Also went to the FWC site just recently, and there are no sites showing any kind of significant red tide. We'll see when it comes out tomorrow, the full report from FWC, to see indeed if it has improved. It wasn't just the wind and the rain, it was more so the waves associated by the wind that really, I think, broke up the red tide. Siesta Key, Cindy Desmond showing the effects of lack of red tide on Siesta Key. A lot of beachgoers starting to get back to more normal conditions out there, and be sure to go out there and visit the folks out there on the beaches and participate in some of the restaurants out there and stop on in, spend some of your money. They've had a tough fall and a late summer out there. Holmes Beach also, some folks out there. Waves have come down, people enjoying the sunshine. This is the way it's supposed to be, right? We are looking at cooler conditions too for the weekend. You see a brief shower away out there too. That's associated with a weak frontal system, so a little cloudiness there in advance of a weak cold front. This, of course, Michael weakening. Top winds at 50, still weakening, heading off to the northeast, but still packing a lot of rainfall into Virginia now. Virginia getting hammered with some heavy rainfall there, but as far as the destructive force of the winds, that's for the most part gone. Still dangerous. There's a potential for some tornadoes there. There's the front I mentioned. Typically, as these things move through, they kind of whip the wind around in a northwesterly direction behind them and put a little front into our area. High pressure will then build in behind it and clear us out for the weekend. The weekend looking quite nice. As far as that rain goes, I mentioned those showers off of Holmes Beach. We can see a little bit of rainfall here and there. A spotty shower or two, not out of the question this evening. You can see some of that just near Anna Marie Island. Also into the inland areas, a few showers are popping up here and there, but the rain chances are pretty low. Current temperatures, get a look at this. It's 83 in Sarasota, 83 in Pensacola. And this is what I talk about dew point and the moisture content in the atmosphere. The heat index, it still feels like 94 here, but with the same temperature and lower dew point, it feels like 83, just what it is. And so that drier air will slip in our area tomorrow, and also some cooler temperatures. The lows to start things off, not too cool, mid-70s. We'll warm up into the mid to upper 80s in some places. But Saturday morning is when we're going to look at some nice starts. 66 degrees, at least this model is projecting that. I think it'll be a little higher. There could be some mid to upper 60s inland, but still, it's going to be in the 60s in most areas. And when you get up in the morning on Saturday, you're going to notice that difference quite noticeably, but we'll still warm up to around 84, 85 degrees. That dry air I mentioned that's already over the panhandle is going to slip in here beginning tomorrow and stick around, it looks like, through most of the weekend. Well, Leslie continues to spin out here in the Atlantic. It's moving to the northeast. It could slip down to the south again. And Nadine is falling apart. This chance is lowering. That's good. That's a good sign over the next 5 days. 40% chance. More than likely what's going to happen, it's going to drift off to the west-northwest and get over land. So we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, I don't think it's going to do much, and the models really aren't picking up on it at this point, but it bears watching. 83 degrees right now, and the west winds are at 9. Those winds will switch around to the northwest. The high was 86. The low this morning was warm, 79. We had nearly 4/10 of an inch of rainfall at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. And you can see all that dry air has cleared skies out over the central U.S. Temperatures have cooled, too. Currently, it's 37 in Minneapolis, 53 in Kansas City, and St. Louis now at 58 degrees. Let's get to the boating forecast. Looks good tomorrow. Seas will be generally 2 feet. We'll have a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast then is calling for a nice day tomorrow. We'll see some sunshine, and the cold front will be there, but temperatures will not cool all that much there. Upper 60s, nice, mid-80s. Then we start to warm up, and the humidity comes back. We'll have much more coming up right after this. Stick around.